You're just now joining us here on Atlanta News First. We are following breaking news here at this hour, a high-speed bus chase down I-85 that ends in what we believe could be potentially injured persons that were on board that bus. This is video from earlier this afternoon showing the Gwinnett County transit bus slamming in and out of police officers and civilian cars, everyday people just likely going home from work. Here it is about to make this left in between traffic and run right into the back of this gray sedan. This was a pattern we saw repeated over and over and over again. We understand from scanner traffic is told, and there's he is slamming, or he or she slamming directly into the back of that police car. We were told this was a hostage situation. That is from the scanner traffic that we heard here in Atlanta News First. Officers communicating back and forth between one another that somebody on board this bus was holding the bus driver hostage. I believe this all started, Tracy, over at Ivan Allen Boulevard with some kind of incident as we watch this spike strip video. The officer nailing the back tires, but the bus, Tracy, not slowing down. Yeah, not slowing down at all. And as you mentioned, Allen, starting at Ivan Allen Drive, so going through Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, and then ending there on Silver Hill Road near Stone Mountain. So what a frightening afternoon for a lot of people who were on the roadways, you know, trying to get home, trying to get to work in some occasions there. From that video from earlier today, the back of that SUV nearly clipped by that bus. And here we have the bus going the wrong way on that intersection there, driving in the turn lane. You can actually see some smoke from the back tires there.
There it is, yeah.
I think he's just riding on rims for the most part, as much as he could there.
Look at that.
Just kind of weaving in and out of traffic. And again, amazing skill and work done by law enforcement across the metro in making sure no other people were injured in this scenario, because unfortunately, the toll of those injured could be very high when you're talking about during rush hour on these well-traveled roads. Anyone in Metro Atlanta knows traffic is crazy, especially this time of day. And for officers to really call ahead and get those units in those intersections to clear them out as quickly as they can. It looked like, you know, in some cases they were right in front of that bus trying to get other vehicles off the road and clear the way for this bus there. It is just incredible. And as things stand right now, a live image, I think this is live
that's people
right now.
Getting off the bus.
Earlier, okay.
There you go.
These are some of the people who were on the bus. This is from our First Alert chopper there. You can see that gentleman getting on the ground there. We believe he may be a passenger. A number of passengers getting off that bus. Unclear exactly how many people were on the bus at the time. Unclear if any of them sustained any injuries. You know, there had to be a lot of bumping and shuffling going on with the bus, you know, riding on rims there, getting
consistent accidents,
tires blown out, and nearly running into other vehicles there. So just an incredible day, but so happy to report that this has really come to an end. The next step now, of course, is check on the condition of that bus driver who we believe was held at gunpoint, really directed where to go. Here